A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out of practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. On for the point after is Randy Bullock. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Run. Lane fly three.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Wentz. Going up top. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney.
They start on the ground with Elliott. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Simon. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And he's got his man on the out route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun!
They'll set up to throw. His throw incomplete.
I put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And Bullock will put this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he will find his man on the outside.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it,
he's got it at the 15. And touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's a give to Fournette. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And a pressure gets to him again. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
I know back in the good old days, just about every team was constructed to power run to the right side. We just saw a pitch to the right side that worked pretty well.
It's easier going to the right than the left?
It just used to be very simply that the right side was always the power side. I think that's just one of those old things. I'm not sure it's still the same, but on that play, it certainly felt like we were back to the future.
Yeah, and it worked. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Gone! Here we go! Detroit! Gone! It's just me and you.
Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Woo, defense, let's go. Detroit!
They'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And it's taken in at the 9. So a change of possession here on the punt. And now back out comes the offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Wentz now on first down. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Flushed out right. That is incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Hang in there now. Hang
Wentz to throw again. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And here now the offense heading back out there. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a second down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. And all the way up to the 31-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And on now is the punter, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken around the 12. So possession goes over here on the punt. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Here we go. 120. What's this on?
They do go for it. It's Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And Bullock will put this one through, but hold everything here. They might have hit the kicker. And if they did, that'll be a first down. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach. We can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
We got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep
Detroit! Detroit!
Check the backer. Check the backer.
He'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Lewis. And a super return as he gets this all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So out comes the field goal team once more. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. So that'll back him up 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, You and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On first down, Wentz. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Wentz now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
81.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 17. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
A first down carry by Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on first down. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space, the big guys leading the way.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to...
And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this offense is running away with this one. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Now this off. About ready to take over again. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. This complete to Henry over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Wentz going to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Come on now.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Hang in there now. At least 5'7", at least 5'7". Right there, 54, right there.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Over the middle, complete. It's Henry. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To throw is Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. And in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll set up to throw. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, 1st down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Ram. 82.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Letting one go deep for the end zone. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And this is incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And this Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal.
81.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Jalen Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And Elliott puts this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. On the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know.
That's caught inside the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 29. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Toss left to Elliott. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Back to throw here. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
Check.
Leopard! Gone!
Hey, we gotta get...
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Detroit!
That one looks like he'll throw here. Throw left side complete. It's Ferguson. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Especially when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden, because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
82.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. This offense so far on third down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Wentz. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll go with a big back Fournette. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Portland, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. Bye.